It's 11 p.m. and these are the headlines. On the occasion of his re-election for second term, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, receives congratulations messages from kings and heads of state and government. Algeria definitively turns page on its membership in BRICS and reiterates its support for pluralism in international relations and regaining multilateral cooperation. From New York, Attaf reiterates and recalls the responsibilities and role of the UNSC in implementing an immediate ceasefire in the Middle East amid a high-level meeting held following Algeria's request. And violent strikes has hit Beirut once again, and Hezbollah announces the martyrdom of its Secretary General. And in Gaza, new death toll is registered following attacks on Al Maghazi and Nusayrat camps. Morocco and its endless scandals. Al Makhzen regime, and with its normalization policy, has only made the lives of Moroccans even worse. Details in a bit. And in order to deal quickly with the cases of diphtheria and malaria and stop the spread of these diseases in the south of the country, a qualified medical delegation took off and arrived to Tamanghast, Ain Gazam and Bouj Beji Mukhtar. Welcome back, everyone. First of all, the King of the Netherlands, William Alexander, congratulates the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, on his accession to the presidency of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, expressing his sincere congratulations and best wishes for success in carrying out his duties at the heart of this second presidential term. He stressed that the Republic of Algeria and the Kingdom of the Netherlands share a long history and that he was very satisfied with the bilateral cooperation, convinced that it can be deepened and strengthened in the upcoming period. And the President of the Republic of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto, sent a message of congratulations to the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, for his re-election for another term, and which is a deep testimony of the trust of Algerian people and the significance of the term. The Kenyan President also assured the President his country's enthusiasm for further strengthening the ties of friendship and cooperation between the Algerian and Kenyan peoples, wishing the President of the Republic success in the upcoming years. For his part, the President of Cameroon, Paul Biya, congratulated the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, on his election to the presidency, wishing him every success at the head of Algeria. On this occasion, the President of Cameroon expressed his hope of working with the President of the Republic to promote and strengthen relations of friendship and cooperation between the two peoples. The President of the Republic of Malawi, Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera, has sent a message of congratulations to the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, following his re-election to second term, and which reads as follows: Your Excellency, the President of the Republic, I have received with great joy the news of your victory in the presidential elections. On behalf of the government and the people of Malawi, I extend my sincere congratulations and best wishes to Your Excellency. For his part, the President of the Republic of Montenegro, Jakub Milatovic, congratulated the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, on the occasion of his re-election as President of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria. The President of Montenegro affirmed that the friendship and cooperation relations, as well as the historical ties between the two countries, constitute a solid base on which the relations will be developed and the upcoming cooperation will be strengthened for the interest of the two peoples. The Prime Minister of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed Ali, has sent a message of congratulations to the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, on the occasion of his consecutive second-term election, and which reads as follows: On behalf of the people and government of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, and on my own behalf, I extend to you and the people and government of Algeria my warmest congratulations on your re-election, while expressing my confidence over the fact that the friendly relations between the two countries will continue to flourish. And in other news, Algeria has definitively turned the page on its membership in BRICS. This reaction comes after a rumor circulating stating that Algeria has once again been approached by BRICS member countries to join the group. For the Algerian authorities, the case of joining the BRICS is closed, even though it is a member of the BRICS Bank. Reasons behind this decision include the absence of plausible arguments to justify the exclusion of Algeria's application at the very last minute. Rania Bahri explains.
For the Algerian authorities, the file of joining the BRICS Bank has been closed, and the reasons are simple and logical. During 2023 summer season, the Johannesburg summit concluded with the admission of 6 new members. No tangible argument was presented to justify the exclusion of Algeria, and the file was withdrawn at the last minute in a public surprise, demonstrating a blatant contradiction both in substance and in principle, in a form that aims to question the existing global order represented by the IMF and the World Bank. These organizations should operate with a more comprehensive approach. However, it adopts a ridiculous logic in its selection that limits its impact and scope instead of offering global solutions. How can we not doubt in its true intentions, knowing that Algeria is much better than several countries that joined the organization during this famous summit, a country that has no external debts and has the largest area in Africa, and it's rich in important mineral and energy resources with an infrastructure that is envied throughout the continent. The most surprising is that the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, which are generally stingy with compliments, have publicly praised Algeria's economic performance, going so far as to present them as models of success. The truth is that a member state obeys the interests of the poor far from the economic rigor that is intercepted with the help of almost theatrical, which prevents Algeria from joining the BRICS, and all this on the orders of the Gulf Emirates, which hide behind the scenes of pressure, behind the scenes of BRICS geopolitics, which took on the appearance of a comedy, respond to the call of new members of BRICS countries like the United Arab Emirates and Egypt, who are very close to the United States, while the objective of the creation of the BRICS was to get out of the hegemony of the United States and certain international institutions. The point of joining the BRICS was to campaign for a multipolar mode. On the other hand, Algeria is a member of the BRICS Bank. The case of Algeria in exclusion results less from economic criteria than from political maneuvers is a striking example. While the IMF and the World Bank continue to praise its performance and resilience in the face of global crisis, this exclusion underlines the fragility of the commitments of the BRICS to emerging economies. Algeria, with its strategic energy reserves, its financial stability and internal reforms, should naturally have been included among the new members. Certain coherences will undoubtedly reveal in the long term the limits of a bloc which claims to reshape the world economic order, but in reality is a prisoner of its own calculations. Beyond the slogans, integration into the BRICS is based on logics far from economic excellence alone. Algeria, which has always advocated for multipolarity in international relations and the re-establishment of multilateral cooperation, will continue to defend its choices with its BRICS allies. In other frameworks, such as the UN Security Council, the Group of 77, and the non-aligned movement, faithful to its principles, Algeria will no longer be able to be part of this organization. The page has definitely been turned.
And in New York, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ahmed Attaf, reiterated Algeria's position towards the Palestinian cause at the Security Council. Attaf recalled the responsibilities and role of the UNSC and the necessity of an immediate ceasefire to stop the Zionist entity from murdering innocent civilians in the Middle East. Yassir Hamdi.
During a Security Council meeting aiming to prevent the situation in the Middle East from worsening, Algeria, through its Ministry of Foreign Affairs, called the Security Council to adopt a strict position towards the Zionist occupier and respect international law. Ahmed Attaf highlighted the importance of the Security Council's role in facing the Zionist crimes.
وها نحن نقف اليوم على التداعيات الكارثية
We are facing the catastrophic repercussions resulting from the passivity of the Security Council towards the atrocities perpetrated by the Zionist occupier and its expansionist and destructive plans. The barbarity of these crimes has reached an unprecedented and inhuman level.
تخريبية فهمجية
Ahmed Attaf denounced the impotence of the international community to impose a ceasefire, thus warning against the Zionist escalation and its repercussions on the stability of the whole region. The Minister of Foreign Affairs called to find a sustainable solution to the Palestinian cause by defining an independent Palestinian state.
مسؤولية.
The Security Council has to assume its legal, political, moral and humanitarian responsibilities towards the Zionist crimes against the Palestinians and the other countries and people of the region. No failure to fulfill these responsibilities could be justified. It's an imprescriptible responsibility that cannot be evaded in any way. This central authority is unable to find solutions to bring justice to the Palestinian people.
ولا تقبل التملص منها تحت أي ذريعة.
The Algerian initiative reaffirms Algeria's devotion to defend the right of the Palestinian people. This meeting allows to maintain pressure on the Zionist occupier in order to find peaceful solutions that can ensure the stability of the region.
Still in New York and on the sidelines of the works of the general debate of the United Nations General Assembly, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and National Committee Abad Ahmed Attaf held bilateral talks with several of his counterparts. Attaf met with the Brazilian Minister of Foreign Affairs, Bruno Vieira, and the Venezuelan Minister of Foreign Affairs, Evangel Pinto, and the Kuwaiti Minister of Foreign Affairs, Abdullah Ali Al-Yahya. Ahmed Attaf has also had talks with the Djibouti's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mohammed Ali Youssef, and the Ukrainian Minister of Foreign Affairs, Andrei Sibiha, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Bosnia-Herzegovina, Ilam Dinaz Gunakovic, as well as the American Under Secretary of State for Political Affairs, John Bass. In other news, and in compliance with the President of the Republic's instructions, and in order to quickly deal with the cases of diphtheria and malaria and stop the spread of these diseases in the south of the country, a qualified medical delegation took off on military planes from Bufarik Airport with a large quantity of medicines and medical equipment and arrived to Tamanghast, Burj Baji Mukhtar, and Ain Gizam provinces. Najah Tayyar reports.
In the light of the complicated health situation concerning the appearance of cases of diphtheria and imported malaria in certain provinces of the Algerian south, the medical team mobilizing in response to the President of the Republic's orders arrived early this morning to Ain Gizam, accompanied by tons of medical equipment destined for the region's health centers. There have been numerous reports of cases of diphtheria in particular, but with the massive arrival of medicines, this situation will hopefully be restored rapidly. In fact, over the last 2 days, we've seen a drop in the number of diphtheria contaminations in Ain Gizam province. With the presence of the medical aid on site to closely monitor the delivery of medicines to the clinics and other health centers, the local health facilities will experience reduced pressure. I would like to thank the President of the Republic and all the medical staff responsible for helping the people of Ain Gizam with this initiative. I would like to thank all those who ensured the smooth running of this operation, led by the President of the Republic, who supported us in these difficult times. The doctors and the shipment of medicines will really help us to stop the spread of this epidemic. The mobilized medicines reached 20 tons, transported to Tamanghast, Ain Gizam and Burj Baji Mukhtar provinces, representing a key initiative to curb the epidemic and ensure the protection of the local population.
And the Minister of Interior, Ibrahim Oued, supervised today at the Moulay Ahmed Medaghni National School of Administration in Algiers the inaugural ceremony of the school's 55th class on the theme, public managing between the demands of the current context and the challenges of management. Taking the floor on this occasion in the presence of the mediator of the Republic, Abdelmajid Ammour, as well as governors and executive and local officials, Mawad stressed out that this inaugural class is devoted to a new management method as part of forward-looking program to develop a system in line with the international developments and meeting the aspirations of public authorities. Cooperation now, the Minister of Energy and Mines, Mohamed Arqab, received the Minister of Petroleum of the Niger, Saabi Omaru, who is on working visit to Algeria, heading an important delegation. The two parties stressed the importance of exploring new ways of diversifying and extending cooperation between the two countries and finalized joint development projects, in particular the Sonatrach Research and Exploration Project and the Trans-Saharan Gas Pipeline Project. Up to the breaking and latest news in Lebanon, Hezbollah has announced the martyrdom of his Secretary General Hassan Nasrallah in a strike carried out by the Zionist entity on Beirut after the Zionist entity targeted 6 residential buildings in southern Lebanon. The Lebanese Minister of Health announced dramatic numbers, no less than 700 martyrs, mostly civilians. The intensification of the bombardments pushed more than 50,000 people to flee towards Syria. Yasin Hamdi explains.
Lebanon is still under attack. Yesterday, the Zionist forces targeted 6 buildings in the south of Beirut. Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of the Lebanese movement Hezbollah, fell as a martyr. A few kilometers away from the Gaza Strip, Beirut and its population are living in a catastrophic situation marked by bombardments and fear. More than 50,000 Lebanese and Syrian refugees in Lebanon fled to Syria, and more than 200,000 people were displaced to the interior of the country.
أعتقد أنه يفعله اليوم أما من خلال الاستهدافات التي تحصل داخل
The attacks on Lebanon are putting pressure on the population, causing massive displacements. In densely populated areas like the south of Beirut, the number of displaced people may increase quickly. This situation could worsen the relations between the Lebanese living in their homes and those coming from the north of Palestine.
دخلت مناطق التهجير الكبرى في لبنان اليوم كالضاحية الجنوبية التي يعني عدد سكانها كبير جدا.
According to the Lebanese press agency, a thick cloud of smoke covers the sky of the region, and huge explosions shook the capital and its suburbs after the Zionist air forces targeted and bombed an area in the south of Beirut. These attacks are part of the psychological war aiming to push the partisans of Hezbollah to stop the military support to Gaza by regularly increasing their attacks on the areas deemed hostile and weaken Hezbollah that does its best to help the Palestinians. By targeting civilians, the Zionist entity pushes the Middle East into a destructive war and ignores other resolutions of the Security Council aiming for an immediate ceasefire and benefits from the total silence of the Western countries.
And while eyes are on Lebanon, the Zionist entity intensifies its attacks in Gaza, targeting Al-Maghazi and Nusayrat refugee camps and Absan in Khan Yunis. At least 4 Palestinians got murdered in these attacks, while 4 others got killed as well in the Sabra neighborhood, south of Gaza. Wanya Al-Bahwi reports.
After a year of daily genocides, Palestinians now find themselves unable to recognize their martyrs. The Palestinian Ministry of Health received the remains of nearly 90 Palestinian martyrs, some of whom were in a state of decomposition and without any information about their identity. Despite requests to the International Committee of the Red Cross to try to identify these victims, the Palestinian Ministry of Health proceeded to bury the bodies in respect of the deceased. The anonymous martyrs, and for good reasons, they were buried without their identity being known, without knowing how they were killed or where the occupation exhumed their bodies. Their altered appearance testifies to the horrors they had to endure, a situation that reflects the occupation's desire to hide its brutality from the world, acts committed against entire families, including children, women, and the elderly. Everyone here is in uncertainty, living in the hope that one of their missing children is still alive or among the prisoners arrested by the occupation. There is no way to know since the occupier has refused to reveal their names. They will remain numbers in a mass grave taken by death, and the truth of what they suffered will remain unknown.
Unemployment, poverty and violent practices is the response of the Makhzen regime to Moroccans' demands. This adds to the endless reasons why Moroccans illegally immigrate to Spain, risking their lives for a better one. Najih Tayyar.
The Makhzen, facing serious multidimensional crisis, now is not even able to respond to the concerns of the society in the grip of several social problems. One of the main issues rising in Morocco today is unemployment as a result to the governance system that is dragging the country towards decadence. This situation, described as catastrophic, is compelling the young people to face the perils of the sea at the cost of their lives to reach to the other shore of the Mediterranean. Tens of the young people are fleeing their country by land and sea. According to them, all the means to flee to the Spanish cities are acceptable as long as they get rid of the dictatorial Makhzen regime. What would we do with the little salary we get? Are we going to pay rent or electricity and water bills? We ask them to give jobs to the people. We are prevented from progressing in our lives. The majority of the Moroccan people are suffering in this complicated situation due to the minority of influential members of the Makhzen regime who serve their own interests to the detriment of the people, who suffer from poverty and unemployment rates that have risen steadily in the recent years to reach a disturbing level nearing 50%.
هادشي ما تكتبوش على عباد الله. راه ما كاينش حقوق الانسان كاين هنا.
A great injustice and no respect to human rights here. If someone speaks the truth, they break their bones. They follow dictatorial policies in here, and to express and stop what we're going through, we need to take to the streets.
باش تحبسوا هاد العبث هذا ديالكم وهاد الكذوب وهاد التخربيق.
The reality experienced by the Moroccan people on a daily basis and which the Makhzen regime tries to conceal by all means is quite bitter. A regime drowned in normalization and conspiracy. It is for these reasons, among others, that the Moroccan people have not stopped their strikes for 3 years now, dispersed by the Moroccan police with truncheons, savage repression and arbitrary arrests suffered by the medical students and the unions involved in the ongoing protest movements. We denounce the repression that our brothers in the medical institution in Rabat received after demanding their rights. We hold the Ministry of the Higher Education fully responsible. The Moroccan citizens' demands are simple. Nevertheless, the Moroccan police responded with unprecedented violence towards a category of students considered elite in their society. Despite the fact that the students were adamant to communication policy, they were faced with violent interventions by the police. As demonstrated by these images, human rights and freedoms in Morocco are being violated, and the situation is likely to continue, hinting to a risk of a blank year looming for the trainee doctors.
And the new scandal has hit Al-Makhzen, and it's certainly not the last one. Moroccans are being interrogated by the Zionist intelligence services in their country. Indeed, Moroccan passengers of non-Jewish faith wishing to travel to occupied Palestine are being interrogated by the Mossad at Moroccan airports, a measure which confirms once again that the royalty of Mohammed VI has become a Zionist colony, and the services of the Makhzen regime are a branch of the Zionist intelligence services. And that was it for today's news. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.